Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nerdgasm Podcast, the podcast where we talk about things that are nerdy and things that are naughty. I am Merlin Sensei, and I like to 888 apples and bananas. With me, of course, is the 12-sided guy who likes to eat apples and bananas. We, of course, have Switch Riggs, who likes to eat apples and bananas. Of course, the lovely Moopacabra, who likes to oat, opals and bononos. And last but not least, special guest star Dress Blacks, who likes to oot, opals and bonunus.
Let's be honest, if anyone's eating a panini, somebody's made it.
Fucking hate that game.
It's because you're old and grumpy. Guys, I have a story to
so
start
much
with.
to talk about.
Just throw shade right out the open.
So much to talk about.
Okay, listen.
Okay.
I have a thing to talk about, okay? Because we should just change this podcast to,
Move
Dear
bitches
Dolly...
about everything.
No, Dear Dolly Parton, please be my grandma. So, Dolly Parton is awesome. Once again, let me explain why Dolly Parton is awesome. She was nominated to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year, right? She was up against Duran Duran, Eminem, Beck, A Tribe Called Quest, Lionel Richie, and a couple of others. And so nominated. So again, she's not the only country artist to have been nominated for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This is not unheard of. Johnny Cash. There are other non-country music stars, Hank Williams, Brenda Lee, Elvis Presley, Chet. There are people that are not rock and roll stars, and she's Dolly fucking Parton.
Elvis was the king of rock and roll.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
Elvis
saying. I know, but if you look at this, a rare class of artists, Everly Brothers can be found in either way. They're saying that Elvis Presley. Look, it's listed. I didn't make that.
I mean,
up.
Elvis
I'm
did
just saying,
some gospel
whoever
music
wrote
and
that's
stuff, but he
fucking
was, he was the king of rock and roll. That's why it was a big deal
The
when
Everly Brothers
Michael
for rock and roll.
Jackson and
Jimi Hendrix was fucking in that band for a while.
Regardless, okay, listen. So, Dolly Parton,
king of pop, marrying the daughter of the king of rock.
Dolly Parton went ahead and put the statement out on Twitter, and she said, or Instagram, and she said, Dolly here. Even though I'm extremely flattered and grateful to be nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I don't feel that I have earned that right. I really do not want votes to be split because of me, so I must respectively bow out. I do hope that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will understand and be willing to consider me again, if I'm ever worthy. This has, however, inspired me to put out a hopefully great rock and roll album at some point in the future, which I've always wanted to do. My husband is a total rock and roll freak and has always encouraged me to do one. I wish all of the nominees good luck, and thank you again for the compliment. Rock on, Dolly. And I'm so... I don't know. I just love her so much. I really just do. And she, I just think it's fantastic that she would do that. And it's not the first time that she's done something like this, right? 2021, Texas lawmakers were trying to put forth a bill that would basically, they wanted her in a statue on the state capitol grounds. And she was like, could you maybe not? Why don't we table that bill? I don't think that's necessary. And then she's also, and I think this is, and I know I've talked about this before, she's declined the Presidential Medal of Freedom twice from Donald Trump. There's something to be said about somebody that's just hey, I'm all for congratulations, I'm all for accolades, I'm all for these things, but I want to earn them, and I want to be comfortable with accepting them. So, hooray for Dolly Parton, once again. I'm just really impressed with her. Fantastic. That's all I had to say about that. Sorry. We can continue on, but I had something positive to say, guys. I feel like I start this every week with fuck this, fuck you, and fuck the horse you rode in on, and this week it's I love Dolly Parton. She's fantastic.
All right, well, we can go ahead and wrap up there. Thank you all so much for hanging out. And what was I going to say? As long as we're talking about lawmakers and stuff like that, can we talk about how fucked up Congress is, so to speak? And here's why.
So to speak. I don't think anybody is going to disagree with you on that.
Well, specifically, here's why. Neither side can come to a conclusion on health care. on raising minimum wage, on taxes, on gun control, on anything. But
On
as
Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer, on Vixen?
as soon as they themselves were inconvenienced by daylight saving times, they were like, fuck this, it's gone.
Thank goodness.
Did we get rid of daylight savings time?
No more daylight savings time.
It's going to be permanent.
There is no longer a fallback, no longer a spring
since, like,
forward.
1972. I mean, it's
We
not
are
like
going.
that they just acted on it. That's been a stupid argument for longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, we are going to fall back one more time, and that will be it.
Oh, are we?
Yes, we're not stuck in the spring forward. We're going to go.
I thought we
fall
were
back.
stuck in the spring forward.
No, we're going to fall back one more time, and then it's done.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm so glad it's happening. I hate it because it throws me off so much.
I've been up until like 5 a.m. every day this week because of it. Which doesn't make sense. You'd think I'd be going to bed earlier. No.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't think we need it anymore. I think when we didn't have the technology to do those things, that's one thing, but I don't know.
It actually is detrimental.
Technology, most of the people that it was supposed to benefit weren't paying attention to what time it appeared to be to the rest of the world anyways.
Yeah. It's actually detrimental to our sleep schedules and body health, so I'm kind of very glad that it is being put away at this point.
I will say it's been nice to have the extra daylight lately. It's been really pleasant to leave work and be like, oh shit, it's still sunny out. Like this is nice, but
it was just about at 70 today, I believe.
It was. I wore a tank top and flip flops all day today.
I
amazing.
wore shorts. I went outside. I hated it. I have one of my windows open. I vacuumed. I hate it.
I battened down the blackout curtains, and we're all good.
12 says that his internet seems to be gone. So, he may or may not pop back in. This is just going to be a weird week for 12 with his audio. He's just popping in and out all over the place. So, I apologize, listeners.
The question is whether or not he let Audacity continue to record or not.
Well, that sounds like a Merlin problem.
I don't like Merlin problems. I like it when 12 kept Audacity running the whole time, so that way I don't have to do weird
I did,
splices.
actually.
Good.
The prodigal son returns.
Hey, listen, I like that band.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm a little bit busy staring at Moo's tit.
Sorry, I was fixing a piercing. I apologize. Continue the. Who has something to talk about?
There's been a lot of titties in the last, couple days, but we'll talk about that later.
All right. Games. Let's do it.
Games. There's stuff going on and coming out.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Do any of the games have titties?
Oh, there's always titties in those games. All over the place. If we worry about what's coming out this coming week, though, the 3 that I have chosen is 1, Rune Factory 5. If you know what Rune Factory is, you will be happy. Number 5 is coming out on the 22nd.
That's like a hybrid kind of Stardew Harvest Moon kind of, in addition to other things. Right?
Yeah, kind of like a RPG / harvesting, monster hunting, all the things put together. But I think the one that Merlin's most excited for is the new Kirby game that's coming out. Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Kirby! Yeah.
Not my cup of tea, but definitely a good game.
All of the kids at this house are really excited about that game.
Mouthful mode.
Kiddos.
That's because
full
Kirby
mouth
is wonderful.
That full mouth mode.
It's supposed to be on our porch on the 25th.
Wonderful.
Nice. And one that is more geared towards me is the new Tiny Tina's Wonderlands coming out on the 25th as well.
Who the fuck is Tiny Tina?
Tiny Tina from Borderlands.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't play Borderlands, so every time you guys say that, I can only think of the Christmas episode of Arthur. The
No.
Tina, tiny Tina, tiny
Oh,
Tina,
God.
the talking tabby.
No, think young Harley Quinn if she was an explosives expert.
Yes.
Who?
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
Oh, she's kind of already an explosive expert, isn't she?
This is amped
I
up,
think
though.
of her
She's
as
part of her expertise is chaos.
think Tiny Tina as a younger version of Harley Quinn if she was
Okay.
crazy and a kid and blows things up and makes cupcakes and you don't know if that cupcake's going to kill you or not.
Well, shit.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a fun game that's coming out. It's another one of her crazy D&D adventures. Or I'm sorry,
Yep,
bunkers.
Brand one.
I'm sorry, bunkers and badasses.
That's right, bunkers and badasses. For any of you that played Borderlands 2 and had the DLC of Bunkers and Badasses.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help but think of Vaults and Vampires.
That would be
The
an interesting
in Fallout
one, huh?
universe version of D&D.
Makes sense. Vault Tech has its fingers in everything.
Yep. Including your mom. Hey-o.
Oh, damn.
Rowan!
Yep.
Wow.
Rowan
That's a
came to
different
join us
pussy.
today.
Look at that
No.
boy.
Yep. Noodle
Look at
is
him with his mitts.
off adventuring today. It's just a Rowan today.
So we're talking about a cat for the podcast. Has no idea what's happening.
I
The
mentioned
podcast
Noodle.
knows Noodle is a cat. If they don't know that Noodle is a cat by now, then I can't help them, to be perfectly honest. At some point you gotta understand the context clues.
True.
New
When
listeners.
have I ever yelled about a pussy and meant an actual vagina?
Oh my god, look at that noodle. Oh, that pussy. Oh my god. Are they
Love the
watching
paw.
porn? What? No, we're talking about a cat,
That is-
obviously.
Doing
We
that-
did in fact watch
We're
porn.
doing that soon. Wibbly wobbly
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
Eh.
We did watch porn coming Wednesday.
Yeah, we did watch porn coming Wednesday.
One more game that I'm going
There
to
was
go
a lot
ahead and
coming,
tag
too.
on to the end of Switch's
Cuddle kitty.
wrap up there is a game called Weird West. It's Devolver Digital is backing it, I believe. Like they're the studio that's helped putting it out, but I can't remember if they worked on it themselves.
Or they're just slapping
So
their
that's
name
also
on it.
coming out the 25th. Yes, their name is on it.
Speaking of coming everywhere, guys, I learned about a band today that I had not heard of before. And the level of fuck you, I'll do what I want that this band puts forward makes me so happy on so many levels. Everything they sing is in German. I forget the name. What's the name of the band?
Rammstein.
Thank you.
Oh.
I forgot.
You haven't heard of Rammstein?
No, I hadn't heard of them before.
Hi, you were the
So
last
Dress-
one here to know about this band.
Dress Black's played about them. Okay, but I watched a video where he full on pretends to fuck the keyboardist on stage, and then comes all over the audience, all over the audience, and I was just like, "What? Why? Germany is so much cooler than us. They get away with so much more." And he's got some serious daddy vibes that he's given off, the lead singer. He's very daddy, and I'm kind of sad because it was an
I'm
old
right
video,
here, Moo.
so I don't know what kind of daddy vibes he would give off now, or if it would be grandpa vibes and it would be creepy.
Even my mother
Grandpa
knows of
vibes.
Rammstein.
I've heard of the name before. I can't say that I've never heard of the name before, but I can't imagine, I can't remember ever hearing any of their songs. Probably. Jesus fucking Christ, guys.
Definitely never saw that before.
I had one beer. This is one beer and I can't talk. I have probably never heard a song by them before. There we go, I said it.
So we get a lot of international staff at one of my two jobs. One of them from Germany in this particular case. and I'm sure I've mentioned to my boss once or twice. He's a big fan of Rammstein. I don't know why. Like, it just doesn't. He doesn't seem the type, you know. Anyway, he's listening to Rammstein and this
Rammstein.
You
this
gotta say it
international.
angry in German.
And she goes,
Rammstein.
"Oh, my granddad listens to this," and he just, oh yeah, he was like, ooh, especially since he thinks himself quite the gift, as it were, right? So when the little blonde German girl that's working for us is, "Oh, you're my granddad's age," basically, he's like, oh, I laughed and I felt terrible about it.
Well, time to, go end it all.
Yep.
Yeah, there are a couple of new people at work, and the one boy, and I said boy on purpose, like, technically I'm old enough to be his mom. Dress Blacks is definitely old enough to be his
Timmy.
dad. Let's call him Timmy.
You need another Timmy.
Timmy is afraid of the word vagina.
Oh,
You
that's
made him
sweet.
uncomfortable at lunch the other day, talking about hentai.
Oh, this poor boy.
That could theoretically be construed as sexual harassment, though.
Probably
Legally, it absolutely
if our
can.
boss gave a fuck. It was one of those situations where, like, the first time that vaginas came up, it was actually literally just, yeah, I know I said it, but, like, we were talking about something, and I said, I talk about my vagina all the time, boss. That's what the podcast is about. It's just vaginas all over the place. And Timmy goes, on that note, I'm gonna go. And I was like, did I just scare Timmy with my vagina? Like, what's going on? I'm not, like, I really, like, in all honesty, I actually did not say anything explicit. I was just, like, I said the word vagina.
Yeah, this whole
That's
podcast is just about Moo being socially acceptable when she talks about her vagina all the time.
I don't think, it's not like I said, and then he rammed his cock into my pussy, and I literally just said the word vagina, physically talking about my actual anatomical vagina.
Titan, you didn't talk like a hentai movie.
I did not talk like a hentai movie. Oh, God.
Oh, that's why we were talking about hentai, because we were
That's how it
talking
came
about
up.
Comic-Con.
Yeah, it came up because of Comic-Con. And part of it is just kind of like, especially in the industry that we work in, like, you come up against some weird shit sometimes. And so it's one of those things where, like, my goal is not ever to make anybody uncomfortable, but my goal is almost never to make people you're such a shithead. I enjoy making you four uncomfortable, but normal people, I don't enjoy sexually harassing people. That's not a thing that I enjoy doing.
Moo does not sexually harass normies, for the record.
I don't. I really don't. And like the kid's talking about like going out and drinking, and he's underage. So I'm thinking, okay, like he's clearly not like an altar boy. You know what I mean? Like he's clearly done things that are not perfect.
I don't know. Scared of vaginas, likes to drink. Sure sounds like an altar boy to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I offended. I scared somebody with my vagina.
Okay.
Sorry, my headphones went in and out there. I was very confused.
On that sidetrack.
What else has been going on this week? Let's see now. The sun caused some satellites to rain down above Earth.
Oh, it looked great.
Yeah, because of a geomagnetic storm. Apparently it caused 40 SpaceX Starlink satellites to just kind of boom.
Well, that'll make a lot of astronomers happy.
Fuck your light pollution. Get it the fuck out of here.
Well, on the
Netflix
flip
has
side of that,
set a
too.
release date for Resident Evil, the series, coming out July 14th, apparently.
About Wesker, which I'm just like, of course they're making it about Wesker. There's two characters they can make it of, and neither one of them are interesting at this point.
What, you have a problem with Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield?
Well, no, who's the one that got the psychic powers?
Somebody got psychic powers from Resident Evil? Claire?
Yeah.
Claire.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't follow it.
Yeah, there's one scene where they're out in the desert, and these things attack him, and she like uses her psychic powers to direct fire or reflect fire. I can't recall. It's been a while, but
Is
yeah,
this
in the movies.
The crappy Resident Evil movies, or is this the Resident Evil games?
Well,
Sorry, I'm
that's
lost,
just it.
Because I haven't played Resident Evil since Nemesis.
Well, that's just it. Is both are sources for the show.
Nemesis was 3.
Yeah, that sounds
It was
right.
a while ago.
What else? I'm not sure if it's all Japanese schools or just a handful of them, but apparently, female students are not allowed to wear their hair up in ponytails because it exposes too much neck.
But
and,
they can have their hair cut in a bob.
Correct.
Which also exposes the neck.
Correct.
Well, so here's the issue though.
Weird.
Is they put this ban into place because it might excite the boys. You've commented what their media is like. Like hentai is pretty.
Can't show those shoulders or ankles. Yeah. Now the neck. Oh no!
I mean, that's not unheard of, right? Like that's we in high school, like straps had to be like, I could not have worn this shirt to high school. Your shirt had to have sleeves. It had at least the cap that covered the shoulder. Like you had to wear sleeves.
I recall it had to be 2 inches. Did not have to be all the way down. But
it might have said 2 inches, but I was specifically told this is not acceptable because there were days I would do something like this with the sweater, and if the sweater came off, it was a problem. I got sent to the office because a boy was throwing change down my shirt, and they said it was prostitution. Somehow it was my fault because I had boobs in a school. Like, dress codes are stupid. We can make people do whatever we want. You can't wear pants with holes in them. You can't wear, I had pants that they looked like holes, but they were completely covered, and it was sequins on the inside. I was told I couldn't wear those. My mom was fucking furious at me, because mom's like, well, I'm not going to buy you new clothes, so it's arbitrary. At what point do we say, maybe just keep your fucking eyes to yourself and focus on your work? Maybe it's not my job to further your education because you can't keep your eyes off my tits.
Well, here's where I chime in on that when it comes to Japan is as you've said, hentai is really a rapey, right?
It's super fucking rapey.
And now they put this in place basically to prevent the boys from acting rapey, like.
Well, right, and at what point, and this is something I think we've talked about before. As a woman, we are taught constantly. Don't go anywhere by yourself at night. If you have to go somewhere by yourself at night, make sure that you park somewhere that's well lit when you're walking to your car. Keep your keys in your hands. Hold the keys facing outward, so if you have to punch an assailant, you can do more damage. Get in the car, immediately lock the doors, and then check for your thing. Like, this is the shit we force feed women. And instead of teaching, like, we spend all this time teaching women how not to get raped instead of just teaching boys, hey, don't rape. What the fuck? Like, okay, women, don't show you the back of your neck because they might be overcome with lust. That is some Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar level shit. How they teach their boys to stare at the ground so they're not tempted to look at a woman impurely. Maybe just don't look at a woman impurely. Or fine, look. I don't give a fuck. Look, I'm well aware that people look at me. If my cleavage is showing, I expect people to look. Titmouse had cleavage earlier. I looked. Did I touch her inappropriately?
Yes.
You could have.
With
I
your
did
eyes.
not touch her inappropriately.
Well, no.
But I could have. And I have consent, so I can touch. But, that being said, just because I see an attractive woman on the street doesn't mean I just go up and grope her. I don't see a girl with pretty legs and a short skirt and just stick my hand up her dress because I'm a fucking person.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do I dare ask about women's clothing and pockets right now?
Let's not start the pockets
Listen,
discussion right now, please.
You don't understand. We were at the
Run.
Academy this weekend,
Run
right?
while you
We are
can.
we're at the fetish club, and I had a dress on, and this another woman there came up and was like, "Oh my god, that's adorable! I'm so jelly." Which I was like, "You're kind of old to be saying the word jelly, but that's adorable." I said, "Thank you so much. It's from Target. Look." And she goes, and as she sees me do this motion, she's like, "Does it have pockets?" And I shoved it right in. I said, "It has pockets." And she's like, "Oh my god." And this fucking guy on the other side of the room who's like, "I'm a nomad full-time for the last 16 months. He's getting called nomad for the rest of this episode because he's a pretentious dick. He goes, one day I hope to experience half as much joy as a woman who has a dress with pockets. And at this point, I could hear Dress Black's like, "Oh, fuck, here we go." And I like round on this guy, and I'm like, "Look, I'll tell you what. How about you get me some fucking pants pockets equality, and then maybe you'll understand." I said, if you spent 33 years of your life in clothes with no fucking pockets, maybe you could understand the joy of a dress that has pockets. But until I take your pockets away for 33 years, you don't get that kind of joy. Like, I was pissed. Pants, pockets, equality. That's the platform that I'm running on. Mupacabra 2024. All pockets matter.
You can't run. You're too young.
Fuck you. I'll run whatever I want. Well, how
Wait,
old are you?
2024?
It's
Yeah.
35.
You'll be 35 by then?
With no age cap.
I will be. I'll be 35 like on election day in 2024. I don't know if that counts.
Nope, you have to wait
Depends
for
on
the next.
Federal Election Commission.
Well, fuck. Mupacabra, tits you can trust. Ding.
The other side of the actual conversation we're having before pockets is, unfortunately, it's good that you're taught those things, but it's not right that you have to be taught those things. But at the same time, when a guy literally does a passing glance on accident, even sometimes, he gets assaulted verbally or even physically assaulted for something like that. Possible. Not you. You're not going to do that. But there are women that will basically be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why the hell did you look at me?" I'm like,
There are women who do that
just-
intentionally.
yes.
Well, and that's a shame that happens, right? But
Mhm.
again, it doesn't happen for no reason. Right? There's a reason why there are women that feel like they have to take those extremes. And again, I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry that occurred. But women are defensive of these things for a reason.
Or taking advantage of it. Or they take
Okay.
Exactly.
advantage
How
of
many
it.
times in your life has that issue come up?
Personally,
Has
not
that happened to you?
Not me, because
Run.
they're not looking at me.
Run while you can.
It's a sport amongst some girls these days.
Okay, good for you, and I'm glad that it's a sport. But also, again, there are reasons that people act like this. I was fucking 14 the first time I was assaulted. 14 the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many times it's happened since then. I can't tell you how many places it's happened since then, and people have just gone, "Oh, well, boys will be boys. That's how they behave. Oh, well, this happened. That's how they behave." Do I look at people that look at me the wrong way? No. I giggle about it because that's my choice at this point. Because if I got upset every time somebody looked at me inappropriately, I would be insane all the time. The guy that works at the fucking furniture store next door to our work is not subtle. He does not understand how to look subtly. And it's hilarious to me because I'm like, "Sir, you are a grown-ass man. I can see you staring down my shirt. Fucking get with the program and learn to be subtle." Like, I'm not gonna yell at him for looking, but at the same time, like, I fucking see it. And there are plenty of women that see it and they're tired of it.
And that's that. I'm not discounting that at all. I'm just saying that some women take it to the extreme to where they're literally taking advantage of that situation and messing up with someone's life because they've walked by them wrong. That's
I don't
all.
deny that.
On all sides and in all things, there there are always going to be people that abuse whatever circumstances.
Absolutely.
Now, some of it is not going to be nearly as horrific as some other instances, but one bad apple spoils the bunch, so to speak. So I
think we
get
can
it.
go back. I'm going to I don't want to say don't quote me on this, but clearly it's down for posterity. I think this is one of those times when we go with the immortal words of Merlin Sensei, and we say just be excellent to each other.
Yes.
Just don't be assholes. Is it time, Merlin, for the Geeky
Let's go
Wiki?
ahead and jump into the Geeky Wiki.
Fuck yeah, Geeky Wiki.
Sunday, March 20th, I believe, for the sneaky peeky of this week's Geek Wiki, I let you all know that it was going to be the spring equinox. That's right,
Yes.
The first day of spring. It is also National Ravioli Day. Ravioli, ravioli, give me the formuoli. World Storytelling Day, World Oral Health Day, National Proposal Day, Kiss Your Fiancé Day, International Day of Happiness, Great British Spring Clean Day, French Language Day, Je m'appelle Pamplemousse.
Your name's grapefruit.
Yeah.
Playboy.
National Animal Poison Prevention Week. And Poison Prevention Week in general.
Important thing on National Animal Poison Prevention Week, because it coincides with the spring season. Easter lilies are toxic to cats. If you have cats,
Yes.
You should not have lilies. It will fuck your animal up.
Very true. Monday, March 21st, World Puppetry Day, World Poetry Day, National Healthy Fats Day, National Single Parent Day, World Down Syndrome Day, National French Bread Day, National Crunchy Taco Day. Boo! That's a Monday! Boo!
We can't have Crunchy Taco Day on a Monday. What the fuck are we supposed
I
to
know.
do with that?
National Common Courtesy Day, International Day of Forests. Yeah, Merlin issues back when I used to have my internet crash every 10 minutes. Harmony Day, National Fragrance Day, National Introverts Week. Woo! Everybody stay inside. It's scary out in the world.
Introverts unite separately at home.
Yeah. Tuesday, March 22nd, National Goof Off Day, World Water Day.
Fucking no! Okay, sorry. Goof Off is also the name of a cleaning chemical that I've been using for the last, 3 days to scrub truss. It's probably given me cancer at this point. It's, straight up, methylene. You can't have it in California.
Yep. You can't have a lot of stuff in California.
It's called Goof Off, though. That's the actual name of the brand. And, for 2 days, that's all I did was just inhale this chemical. It's, fuck, flashbacks.
March 22nd is also National West Virginia Day. Mountain Mama, take me home.
Why would that be
country roads.
National West Virginia, that is an interesting one.
March 22nd is also Bavarian Crepe Day. National Ag Day, as in agriculture. Daffodil Day. As Young as You Feel Day. American Diabetes Association Alert Day. And National Drug and Alcohol Facts Week begins on the Tuesday. Weird. Wednesday, March 23rd, Pakistan Day. World Meteorological Day. Oh, that word's a little bit hard to say. World Maths Day, MATHS. Near Miss Day, as in the day an asteroid nearly missed Earth, it would seem like. In 1989, an asteroid about the size of a mountain came very close to colliding with Earth. We'll tell you what happened next week. Spoilers, it missed.
I want to know.
National Tamale Day, National Puppy Day, National Chip and Dip Day. I could go for some chips and dips. National Chia Day, and yes, we are talking about little chia seeds that can also be used in recipes as well as to make little chia pets.
This is dropout start.
It's also Melba Toast Day. Melba Toast.
It's those little pieces of bread that almost look like they're like cracker type consistency, but they're tiny little. It looks like a small loaf of bread.
Now, just like Peach Melba, these little thin, crispy toasts were also inspired by the Australian opera singer. Yeah.
The more you know.
Opera singers like toast.
Well,
This one did.
Thursday, March 24th. National Cheesesteak Day. I'm actually not huge on cheesesteaks myself. I don't know why. It seems like it'd be stuff I like. It's like hoagie, steak, cheese, but for some reason it never comes together right for me. I don't know. Maybe it's because a good majority of them have mushrooms, and I hate mushrooms.
Fuck mushrooms.
It's also
It's okay.
National Chocolate Covered Raisin Day.
Fuck
Not
yes!
a fan of those either.
I love Raisinets. Oh my god. We had that conversation today in Costco. I looked at Dress Blacks and Titmouse, and I was like, does anybody else at the house eat chocolate covered raisins? And they were like, ew, no. And I was like, fuck. And they're like, but if you like them, I said, see, here's the problem. I really like them, and if I buy an entire jar of chocolate covered raisins, I will eat an entire jar of chocolate covered raisins.
Fair. March 24th is also National Cocktail Day and World Tuberculosis Day.
It's also Mama Mupacabra's birthday. Happy birthday to my mom.
Hey, alright.
Interestingly enough, it's also National Cocktail Day. I'm seeing an odd. It's an interesting correlation.
Friday, March 25th, National Lobster Newburg Day, Tolkien Reading Day, National Medal of Honor Day, International Waffle Day, hell yeah, waffles, National Dante Day, Maryland Day, Greek Independence Day, Feast of the Annunciation, and National Physicians Week begins on Friday.
And it's Dress Blacks and Titmouse's anniversary. Hooray!
Aww.
Happy anniversary, Dress Blacks and Titmouse.
Thank you.
How many years?
22.
I knew that, but I just wanted you to say it.
22, jeez.
Way back in your
Finally,
day.
Saturday, March 26th. Moo, you have to come visit me because it's National Nougat Day. It's also Wear a Hat Day, Nike Air Max Day, National Spinach Day, Prince Kuhio Day. Prince Kuhio, I want to say Hawaii, was a Hawaiian prince and advocated for the rights of his people. He was mainly known for the Hawaiian Homes Act and the initiation of the bill to make Hawaii an official state of the United States. It's also Make Up Your Own Holiday Day. Independence Day of Bangladesh, Epilepsy Awareness / Purple Day, Earth Hour, HOUR, a day, I don't know, whatever, and Live Long and Prosper Day.
It's Live Long and Prosper Day? Oh, that's cute.
I remember Earth Hour.
Yeah, apparently Earth Hour.
We do it up here for some reason, and they have like everybody in all the kids in the schools just like not say anything for an hour.
Annually,
That would be
observed
hell for me.
on the last Saturday of March. Created by the World Wrestling Federation. Sorry, the other WWF, the Worldwide Fund. for nature, and is held annually, encouraging individuals, communities, and businesses to turn off non-essential electric lights for 1 hour from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. as a symbol of commitment to the planet.
And somehow this translated into an hour of silence.
All the factories are billowing into the atmosphere. Oh, that's right. Stop eating red meat. Sure. Sunday, March 27th, your sneaky peeky at the Geeky Weeky. Ooh, there's a couple of really good ones. I am going to go ahead and let you know that it is World Theater Day.
Hooray!
And that is theater, Theatre.
R-E.
That's right. The theater.
The theater.
And that is the Geeky Wiki.
Fantastic. That's my nipple. So, if we're ready to get naughty, I had an interesting weekend, and I can share bits and pieces of it, right? Because parts of it involve other people. Actually, not really much of it involves other people. But we went to the Academy this weekend. For my first time, I went through the new members class. I got my membership card.
For those of you that don't know, the Academy is one of our local BDSM dungeons.
Yes, it's the Academy of Fetish Arts. So we went. We did an hour-long class. They gave us a tour. We went over consent. We went over the thing that I was really impressed with, not just consent, enthusiastic consent, which I think is so important when we talk about these things, right? The difference between well, I'll do it because you want me to, and fuck yes, let's go. So that was really neat. He even talked a little bit about internet safety and etiquette, and meeting new people for the first time, and why it's important to talk with people beforehand and meet in public places. I was kind of getting the urge to yell, "You're not my dad, Todd," but I didn't. I held it together. We went through the class. And it was an interesting evening. I had, however, two of the most embarrassing moments that I've had in a long time. There is a gentleman there. Can I say his name? His alias? There's a gentleman there that brings a Sibian. I won't say his name. I've always wanted to try one of these things, right? I saw it in porn forever ago. I've always wanted to try one. I had this thing built up in my head of what it was going to be like. And don't get me wrong, I did enjoy myself, but it was different than I expected, because a lot of times when you see them, I expected it to be much softer, because the attachment that he had there was a bump where you're for clitoral stimulation, but it was hard. There was no give, and I was this feels it felt like riding a bike almost. It was a lot of pressure in not necessarily a great way. And I had a lot of hope, because there was a lady that was in there before me, and she was very kind, and she was like, "Would you like to run the controls?" And I was like, "Oh gosh, I don't know if I should not have this kind of responsibility, right?" But she was very kind, and she let me sit there and run the controls and watch. And and then I took my turn and enjoyed myself a lot. But the problem was, when my muscles started contracting, I had a plug in, and I pushed the plug out, and the guy running the Sibian went, "Whoa, surprise, she laid an egg." And was trying to be funny, right? But I have a hard enough time staying out of my own head, because I had a dress on, so he couldn't see. All of a sudden, literally, this thing just fell out, and I was mortified. And at that point, it was not happening, right? I was not. There was no way I was getting off from that. I was also very acutely aware of the fact that, there was a line of people outside the door waiting for their turn, right? And he had different attachments, and he was cleaning everything in between. It wasn't we were just sharing toys, but, I was between that and the thing popping out. I was like, nope, fuck it. I'm done. Can't anymore. I can't focus. There will be it's not happening. But it was such a neat experience, because this guy was just so excited to be bringing other people joy. Like, it was just so nice to see this guy he had these furry gloves that he was like, he's like, some people seem like they really like the feeling of this. And he was like, if you don't mind, I can touch. If you don't want me to, I don't have to. And I was like, no, that's fine. He's like, is there anything you don't want me to touch? I was like, no, that's fine, but I do have some nerve damage, so there are certain things that when you touch, you probably won't get a reaction out of me like you would from other people. Like, but was just super nice and had this giant grin on his face the entire time. So minus the surprise she laid an egg part, like, it was fun, but like, I wanted to die. After that, if that wasn't enough, there's a couple different themed rooms in the area. There was like an office themed room that we were in for a little while. And then there is a medical themed room. And for whatever reason, I think maybe because they were out of space, in the medical room, they had a sex swing. And I am not, like, oh, just full disclosure, I'm about 165 pounds. Like, I'm not huge, but I'm not light, you know? So I climbed up in this swing. I'm good. Everything's fine. I go to shift, like to scoot down to move my butt closer to the end. Whole thing falls. Like, there's 4 points. The fourth point just goes whomp. And I was like, holy fuck. And I freeze, and Dressblax freezes. And I looked at him, I'm like, I need to get out of this right now. Like, please help. And I was like, thank goodness. Like, first of all, thank goodness it was me and not one of the larger ladies that was there. But second of all, like, then Dressblax has to go find an adult and be like, hi, we broke your sex swing. Can you please come help us fix it? Because clearly I don't have tools on me right now, right? So we find somebody, they come and fix it. Like, it was fine. It was okay. But I was just like, this is just, that's two, guys. Like, that's 2 strikes now. I'm really not, like,
there was not a third strike.
There was not a third strike, thank God. But I was really at that point where I was like, I'm going to lose my shit.
Actually, the third strike for the game came at snack time after we left.
Third strike. Okay, so the rest of the evening goes fine. It's well enough, you know. So we go to leave, and I wanted ice cream. I just wanted ice cream. I wanted a treat. It was a good evening. I behaved. I did the things I was supposed to do. I managed to keep myself calm. Because there were definitely moments, like, walking through this place where I'm like, because most people were naked. Or they were in lingerie. And I'm just like, it's okay. I can do this, right? It's okay. I'm not disgusting. Everybody else looks like the same as me. It's alright. This isn't a problem. And so, like, we go through the one room, and I go to leave, and I was like, can I put my dress back on? He's like, yes. And I pulled it on, but when I pulled it on, it was like this. And he's like, okay, leave those out. And I was like, okay, I can do this. It's okay. I can show my boobs, right? It's okay. And I did it. And I was fine, and it was okay. And nobody was really looking. Like, that was the weirdest thing. Like, everybody actually was very respectful. They very much, like, kept their eyes to themselves. And so even, like, walking topless through the building, nobody gave a fuck. And so I was like, I did all the things. I did the things that I was afraid of, and I made it, right? I made it. I just wanted ice cream on the way home. I wanted ice cream and french fries. So we pull into a Rally's. We've been in line, no joke, for 40 minutes. We finally get up to the fucking window to order. And we're like, I'll have this, and one of the strawberries.
Sorry, the ice cream machine is down.
We don't have any ice cream. Without even thinking, I just went, God damn it! And apparently, I yelled this so loud that it echoed off the buildings around us, back at the speaker. I was pissed. I was like, fucking fine, forget it. Just french fries then, I guess. Like, we get up to the window, and, like, they have us pull around so they can finish fucking picking out our order, I guess. And the first guy comes to the window, and he's like, you have the chili, what do you say?
Chili dog.
You have the chili dog? And I was like, are you kidding me? And he's like, and Dressblax is like, no. He's like, the guy, like, walks around going, I don't understand. What did he say?
He was like, I don't understand. These people have been here all this time, and they make her food first? Talk about the lady in the car behind us.
Takes it over, and then the next person comes up to us and goes, what did you order? And I just went, ugh! Because I was out of words at that point. I still haven't gotten my ice cream. No, that's a lie. We went to Sonic the next day, and I got ice cream, and it was not good. It was not good ice cream. It was a
Their
real
slushies
bummer.
are better.
It was a real bummer. I had Chick-fil-A ice cream the other day, and that was okay. Not good, but okay. But yeah, so that was I had a very embarrassing weekend. That said, like, we did have some fun. Like, I got to try the Sibian for the first time. I got to try the swing for the first time. I got to try a St. Andrew's cross for the first time. That was interesting. What else did we do? Was that it? The desk. I hit my head on the desk. Right after I said, I'm not going to hit my head on the desk. Funk. It's like, alright, fine. I hit my head on the desk. Did I do anything else that was... It was really... Okay, so here's the other thing that I wanted to talk about that I really enjoyed. There were a lot of older people there. And when I say older, I mean like 60s. 70s,
good for
maybe
them.
even. Well, there was a little old man with a cane. There was a woman with a walker. And it was really encouraging to see people continuing to do things that make them happy into what we consider, I guess, old age. The guy that taught the class was easily in his 60s, right? Easily, I would say. And his wife was there helping teach the class. And then I saw that guy straight up out on the floor with one of, like, the play knives, like, they are, like, blunted, just going at this lady's back. And I was like, I did not expect that out of you, sir. Good on you. Like, good on you for having a good time. And he brought up another thing that I think was really important, and that was the idea of, he's like, look, I understand in a place like this, there's a lot going on. It can be easy to get distracted by other sounds, by other sights, but, like, if you agree to play with somebody, you are agreeing to focus your attention on that person. And the scene doesn't end when you come. The scene ends after aftercare has been given. The scene ends when you are both at a good place for it to end. Your attention needs to be focused on that sub, that bottom, that whatever situation. If you're taking this responsibility, you're taking this responsibility through the entire process. And that was something I did not expect to hear. And I don't know if that's something that's common in other places, but I'd never heard somebody put that out there before.
Well, so this is
I said it was
something that
hilarious.
definitely over the last, I can't say recently, but this didn't used to always be as common as it is now. It is definitely an adopted mindset that has been drawn into the lifestyle, as it were, over the years. In terms of, like, culture.
Mm-hmm. I also think it's interesting, he went over safe words, he went over the topic of safe words, but, like, I believe on their website it is, if you look, they talk about how, if you're in the middle of this type of situation and you suddenly hear a word yelled out that doesn't make any, like, if everything is going on and you hear somebody go, pancakes! Something is probably off, right? Like, you don't need to know what somebody's safe word is if you are an observer to know that, like, that didn't make sense. That's probably not a thing that's, like, they're probably not getting off on pancakes. Just saying. So, like, kind of brought up that, like, almost as observers, whether, and I don't mean as voyeurs, but just as observers, as other people in the area, like, you have a responsibility to what's going on too. And if somebody is having an issue, that's why we're here. We're here to look out for those people. And so if you have a sub or a bottom that is nonverbal, if you have a sub or a bottom that is, something seems to not be going on, their safe word is not being respected, like, that's our responsibility as other people involved. And that's just so foreign to me, coming from, like, a vanilla background, I guess, where there's so much of this, like, mind your business kind of thing going on. I just thought that was a really interesting point to bring up as well. It's kind of like the it takes a village thing. It was just nice to kind of hear about a shared responsibility. So, Switch, you had something, I think.
Yes, and you're involved with it
I
too.
am involved.
You are. You know you're involved.
Oh, we're talking
Yes.
about this?
So-
Okay.
Oh yeah. So one of our
I may or may not be involved. We'll just say.
you most likely are.
You
so-
can't see my face, you can't prove that.
Yes, you can with all the others. Anyways, I didn't send any of you. Anyway, I don't know all your stuff. Anyways, let me say it. One of our friends has one of her
Man
people
friends?
she's playing with. Yeah. He's not allowed to come at all this week. So she messaged into our Oops chat. I need some ideas of how to rattle his cage, essentially. And
She wanted ammunition, is what she wanted.
she wanted what?
Ammunition.
Yeah, ammunition. Well, she was asking what could she do first, and what kind of ammunition should we be able to send him? So Buddy and I and you, Moo, started sending Avi, and this is Avi's thing, a bunch of pictures of you and of Bunny, and there's a few you didn't get to see that was sent out as well.
That could be any red-headed woman with curly-ish hair dressed like a cow and a fox. You can't prove that it was me.
It's
so we'll
true.
say that for now.
I tend to send a lot of those to Moo from TikTok. There's a lot of them.
But so we went on a long and arduous journey through the archives, and I probably sent her 20 or 30 different pictures. And we will report on if he broke or not next week.
Let me just say, that sounds hellish to me. That's not a thing that I would ever... I chose to do it once, actually. It went catastrophically badly. Couple days in, I was a goddamn nightmare. Like, I don't... This is a thing that genuinely concerns me as an individual, because I'm like, this might count as a sex addiction. This might be an actual problem. But the fact of the matter is, there are certain hormones that get released when we have an orgasm. And that's my antidepressant right there. That is what gets me through. And if I skip a day, I'm not the same person.
You were
It's
scary
not
when you were
fun.
on that medicine that made you not want to do it. That was not Moo.
That was interesting. That's so far gone in my memory now that, like, I can't place it. I remember being struggling with it. Like, that's what I remember, is not the not wanting. It was trying to, and it's still not working. And me being like, there's no reason why this shouldn't be happening right now. And as somebody that has a hard time with it anyway, that was nightmarish. But you can ask Dress Blacks. He came in this morning and was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, kind of. Sort of, like, because last night I fell
Fix
asleep.
me.
Oh.
Last night I fell asleep, and I was like, okay, well, nope, the whole world is ending. I'm kind of okay, but also the world is ending. It's not fun. Not a fun time.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, Merlin, who does not masturbate, really, just because he doesn't, has not had an orgasm since late December.
Listen, that's your choice. More
I know.
power to you.
I'm just saying, it's easier for some more than others.
I could never do it,
okay.
man.
For the
I don't know
person
how.
person in question that's being tortured with these pictures, yeah, no, it's hard. It's very, very hard. In more than one
I mean,
way.
if I were looking at the pictures, I'd be very, very hard too.
I don't know. I feel like
We should all pitch in and get Merlin a fleshlight for his birthday.
Or a hooker.
See, he's making... Oh, a hooker! He doesn't like hookers. He has to have an emotional connection. He's a... What is it called? Demisexual?
Listen, they're good at that.
Sapiosexual?
No, sapiosexual means you're attracted
That's
to intelligence.
intelligence.
It's demisexual. That's
Is it
yeah.
You have to
Demisexual
have
is
a
you have to-
romantic connection to have an intimate connection.
You don't have a romantic
Intimate.
connection to your hand. Seriously?
I love my hands.
I hate myself.
I named her Leia.
We've been over this.
You named her Leia?
Joke from a movie.
Is that from Fanboys?
Fanboys.
I named them both Leia. Yes, that's a great scene.
I
But
always
yes.
think about, for whatever reason, when I jump in the car, I think about that guy lying face down on the pavement going, Chewie! I called Chewie!
All right. I think that is probably a good place to go ahead and wrap things up this week. So, as always, thank you all so much for coming and listening to us here on the Nerdgasm Podcast, the podcast where we do indeed talk about things that are nerdy and things that are naughty. You can go ahead and catch us and support us in a couple of different areas out on the internet. For instance, you can go ahead and find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Merlin_sensei. You can also go ahead and follow me on Twitter at MerlinSensei, all one word. And you can go ahead and check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/C/MerlinSensei.
And I've been Switch Rigs. You can find me at switchrigs.live with the
Double G!
You can find all the links all at the top. They're nice little buttons. And I've been playing the game Tunic, which just came out a couple days ago. It's a nice little anthropomorphic little fox, and he has a sword and a shield. He looks a lot like Link. It's fun. It has a little bit of Dark Soulsy fighting in it. I literally spent about 45 minutes on this last boss trying to kill it.
It's the Legend of Zelda of Dark Souls, or the Dark Souls of Legend of Zelda, whichever way you want to view it.
Yeah,
With
basically.
just a hint of, what was it, Disney Robin Hood.
Kinda, yeah. But yeah, it's been fun.
And
12, you gonna talk or no?
Sorry, I had to find the unmute button. I've been the 12-sided guy. You can... Hey, don't shake your head at me, young man. Either you, young man. 12-sided guy. You can find me at 12sidedguy.online, 12sided guy at TikTok. Other places that, for whatever reason, require you to spell it, just spell it. It's the same name every.
1-2-sided guy.
They have been Merlin Sensei, Switch Rigs, and 12-Sided Guy. I continue to be the holy fuck.
Good night, everyone.
Guys. I continue to be the Moopacabra, drunk, sober, and everywhere in between. You can find me on Twitter and TikTok at Moopacabra, MOOPACABRA, or on Twitch at twitch.tv/Moopacabra. It's been a while since I've been on there, but I am trying to get back to it. I got distracted because I was writing in French on Dress Black's design. Collectively, you can find the four of us on on Twitter. That's where you can find us at Nerdgasm Inc. That's N3RDGA5MINC. We would love to hear your stories. Tell us what your dildo's name is. Tell us what your left hand's name is. Tell us what your right hand's name is. Tell us what you want to be when you grow up. If you're not comfortable sending those things to us live on Twitter for everybody to see, you can go ahead and email me directly, moopacabra@yahoo.com.
Also, send us fan art. #ArtGasm.
#ArtGasm. Please send us fan art.
Moo would kill for fan art.
I really would.
No, I'm dead serious. Like, if we don't get some fan art, she is going to slit my throat.
I'm gonna start stabbing, guys.
I see the knife.
Stabbity babbity. I have your address. Don't threaten me.
So, as always, everyone, please try and remember to be excellent to each other.
Enjoy yourselves and love yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Give yourselves grace. Enjoy what is hopefully going to be continued nice weather. Try to get some sunshine. Soak it in. Try to feel good.
Struggle's real.
Go get a Shamrock Shake while they're available.
Oh, yes. The struggle is real, but the struggle is not failure.
And don't forget, if you don't want the enemy to find you, turn your Tinder off.
So, As always, until next time, dear friends, we will go ahead and talk at you all later. Bye for now.
Bye,
Bye.
friends.
That's right, it's not DiGiorno, it's The Struggle.
Mm.